What is up, everybody? Welcome to the official, probably the one of many, post-election Doomer and Copium streams. Yeah, so, fun times we're in. Wanted to go into what to discuss next, or what to do next. What happens from here, because doesn't quite look good. Oh shit, you are not even looking at me. Get away from the computer and look at me, because I'm beautiful, and I'm gorgeous, and I'm amazing. You're still not looking at me. Fuck. Shit. Yeah. Slightly. There we go. Okay. We are up and running. Got my coffee, got my oatmeal, got my chat. And the show begins. There we go. How are you? We'll get this right, folks. There we go. You got me looking right there. You got my pretty face right there. Maybe pull it a little, rotate it slightly on the axis. Right about here. Still don't know if nope. Maybe pull the camera back. Maybe it can look like that. How's that? There we go. Now we're talking. You get to see my pretty face. So, oh my goodness. I am not looking forward to the next 4 years. I feel like the next 4 years is probably, I don't know. One of the things I feel like I'm now forced to go over is Project 2025, because it looks like they're vowing to make that their plan going forward, so we're going to need to figure out what we're up against. There is a video I was watching earlier, and I kept writing comment after comment, and I figured, okay, if I'm going to write comment after comment, it's basically commentary. Might as well do it on stream. Where is the video? I watched it this morning. Where is she? I know I watched her. Let me see if I can find the history in my phone. It wasn't this one, was it? No.
Burnout. We all experience it.
It was like a, Did I? I can't find it all of a sudden. I feel like, did I at least subscribed to her, right? Yeah, right? Did she delete it? I think she deleted it. Wait. Oh, here we are.
Everyone, welcome to the show.
Okay. So... Oh, so it's right here. Okay.
Everyone, welcome to the show. By now, you all know Donald Trump won last night. Not something we anticipated. Of course, it was always a possibility. There was some erosion that we saw in focus groups. A couple people here, a couple people there, as I mentioned, that had voted for Trump in 2016, voted for Biden, and then went back to Trump. I think it was more than just that erosion, obviously, from what we're seeing from the numbers. One thing this proves, though, is that Trump was lying about the election in 2020. Because if the Democrats consistently commit election fraud, then how did he win last night? Right? Explain that, MAGA. Explain how they just decided, oh, we're going to let this one slide. We're not going to cheat in this election. So you're all full of shit, MAGA, when it comes to that. So I want to talk in this video about what happened, how it happened, where we go from here, what we can expect. Republicans have gained control of the Senate. That was pretty much a given. There were a lot of Democratic seats that were up for election in this cycle. They were very tenuous, to say the least. So in West Virginia, Joe Manchin stepped aside. He stepped down. That seat was always going to go red. So Jim Justice, a Republican, won that seat. In Montana, John Tester was very much on the edge. We kind of knew that one was not going to hold because it was amazing that a Democrat had held that seat in Montana for so long. I mean, it is a very red state. So he lost. Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown lost. I thought maybe he had the better chance of holding on to his seat. He seemed to play well with Republicans, and they seemed to like him. But right now, there is a sentiment across the globe of anti-incumbency. People are just done with the old guard. They want to bring in the new. And, a lot of that has to do with the economy, post-COVID stuff, some other things going on, just a rise in autocracy around the globe. So that's where we're at as far as, the bad news about the Senate. There were a couple of good pieces of news about the Senate. Arizona.
There was another one that was really devastating in it, and it's really sad because Allred, where is he? No, that's you. Because, so Ted Cruz slaughtered Colin Allred because, Texas, Florida, they really hate, having any sort of rights. They think only with their fucking pocketbooks. They don't actually think about their own lives or the lives of people around them. It's pure greed. It's pure selfishness. And that's rewarded in the system. We gotta stop pretending that it's just the CEOs that are greedy. Let's be real. People are greedy. Everybody's greedy. If that's all you really care about is your money and not your rights or the rights of others around you, then you're greedy. You think you come first and everybody else needs to put their lives on hold, and that's just disgusting. And I don't know if she talks about it in this video, but I don't remember. But I think the country basically took a major right-leaning shift throughout the I guess the election cycle. I guess more of the country has voted red, so.
Arizona candidate Carrie Lake lost, luckily, so she is out. And I would say at this point, she's probably out for good because I don't think that the Republican Party is going to ride that horse anymore, so to speak, because she's lost. She's proved herself to be a loser. She lost in the governor's race. She lost in the Senate race. So I don't think that her future is bright in the Republican Party. Could be wrong, as we've seen now, especially with last night's results, memories are short. So we'll see what happens. But as of right now, she's out. In Maryland, Angela also Brooks won. She is a black woman. Lisa Blunt Rochester of Delaware also won. So we now, for the first time in history, have 2 black women in the Senate. Previously, the only black woman, I believe, in the Senate had been Kamala Harris. So this is good for representation, to get new voices, a different opinion, and different value set in there. I am not a big identity politics type person, but I do think you need to have different representatives and get different viewpoints and just have different life experiences brought to the table. North Carolina.
There was one in particular.
The governor, that was a major, race that everybody was watching. The Democrat Josh Stein won, and he won, I believe, last time I looked, was by double digits over his competitor, which you guys will remember is the scandal-ridden, like, psycho that could hand control of the House to the Democrats, which would be the only thing standing between Donald Trump and his psychos and the rest of us. So let's pray for that is important, and it's important to expose people to others who they make overly optimistic. Maybe some Republican members of Congress, they're not hurting anybody. Let's hope that that happens. As for amendments that were on legal, in Florida said no, they did not. Majority abortion rights. Admitted, yeah, I report always with Republicans.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Florida voted majority to approve abortion rights. The only problem is democracy, of course, has no power there. They have the right to actually have your voices heard is not recognized in Florida. I think you need like a 60% vote for your voice to be heard. So anti-democratic there, obviously, but they are Republican, so we cannot be shocked. So abortion did not pass. We all know this. But obviously these people voted overwhelmingly. These people who voted to legalize abortion, especially in Florida, it's like I'll be honest, I was too hard on the women in Florida who voted in favor of Trump. They did the right thing. Most of them voted in favor of abortion. Problem is, I'm also very sad to know that that's not going to change. So they're going to have fun with the fact that they keep voting in Republicans because EU trans people. And so, well, karma's biting you in the ass, you know? You can't vote one way and then expect it to work out in your favor, that they're not going to come for you. So Florida, you obviously haven't learned your lesson. I don't expect you to. You are cousin bred, just like Alabama, just like Georgia. So I do expect that, you're gonna have some more issues. I expect that, maybe it's extreme, but I feel like discussions of death penalty for women who seek abortions, for people who provide abortions, I do feel like discussions about that are going to come up. We already have, I think in Texas, you can be imprisoned for life for providing an abortion. So yeah, you think screwing over trans people is going to work over in your favor. Well, looks like trans people have the last laugh this election cycle, so good luck on that.
So even though almost 60% of that state wanted to enshrine abortion rights beyond what they currently have, which is a ridiculous 6-week ban, they said no. So have fun with that, Florida people. A Florida reporter, this was very interesting, a Florida reporter yesterday said that as they were talking to people who were leaving the polling places, most of them admitted, yeah, I voted for Trump, and I voted yes on the abortion ballot.
My suggestion, stop buying the bullshit about trans people. Stop being afraid of trans people. They're only going into the bathroom to take a piss just like you, or to fix their makeup just like you. You have to be a real dumbass to think that that's in any way a threat because the woman next to you has a penis. Like, you're just a clown. So it saddens me, but it also brings me great karmatic joy to know that it didn't work out in your favor. So you just gotta suffer with the rest of us. Welcome to the club.
Ballot measure. So these people didn't want to go on camera. They were worried about backlash. But I mean, it shows you the breakdown in their thinking, right? I care about women's rights. I think a woman should have a right to choose, but I'm going to vote for the guy who installed 3 different members on the Supreme Court who took away that right. And the guy who has said, and his running mate has said, we want to take away that right on a federal level. So this is the disconnect in their brain. So we'll see what happens. But in Maryland, they agreed to an abortion amendment, 74% to 26%. It wasn't even close. New York, they had kind of an abortion issue on the ballot. It was about equal rights, and again, passed with no problem. 71% voted yes, 29 no. Colorado, Missouri, and Arizona, they had abortion rights amendments on their ballots. They all voted yes. Arizona, 63 to 37%.
And actually,
Colorado,
she was
62
wrong.
to 39%. Missouri. Missouri 52 to 48%, so it was a little closer there. Montana and Nevada, last I checked, their results were not in yet, but it was looking good for the pro-choice side. South Dakota, they did not pass their abortion amendment. In Nebraska, they had two measures on their ballot. So one of them banned abortion after the first trimester. The other one had no length of time. So the people of that state in Nebraska went with that one, with the first trimester abortion ban. So after that, no abortions. So here's how we got here. I think that we cannot overlook or, we can't put too much weight into the fact that we had bomb threats for the first time in our country at polling sites. So Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Pennsylvania all had bomb.
God damn it. They call them Antifa protests, but let's be real, that's, you know, basically anti-fascist or Antifa just means anti-fascist. They're anti this shit. So the NSDAP, the Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, they, let's see. Okay, so although the NSDAP the Nazi DNVP coalition that had enough seats to conduct the basic business of government, Hitler needed a 2/3 majority to pass the Enabling Act, which allowed the cabinet and effectively the chancellor to enact laws without the approval of the Reichstag for 4 years. With certain exceptions, such laws could deviate from the Weimar Constitution, leaving nothing to chance. The Nazis used the provisions of the Reichstag fire decree to arrest all 81 communist deputies and to keep several social democrats out of the chamber. So, yeah, so all 81 communist deputies, I'm assuming that's the, yeah, Hitler then obtained the necessary supermajority by persuading the Center Party to vote with him. The Center Party obtained the... Okay. So, as you can see, he persuaded them. So he negotiated with the Center Party in the Weimar Republic to vote with him in regards to the Enabling Act. So he didn't have the 2/3 majority required to pass, but that didn't mean anything. Like, this is democracy right here. Democracy, quote unquote. Hitler went through the necessary channels to get him the power he needed in order to conduct his Holocaust. So, after the Enabling Act was passed, within 4 months, the other parties had been shuttered by outright banning or Nazi terror, and Germany had become formally a one-party state. A snap election was called for November by Hindenburg, in which voters were presented with a single list of Nazis and guest candidates, and voting was not secret. The new Reichstag thus included only the Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterparty and supporting members, effectively liquidating what was left of Weimar democracy. And mind you, the president does have unchecked power. So anything Trump does, he cannot be tried for as president of the United States. This is huge. And I thoroughly believe that this is not the same Trump presidency we've dealt with in 2016. I think it's going to be a little bit different, maybe a little bit worse, maybe a lot worse. So.
Threats issued. These were made via email, and they were determined to have come from a Russian email server. So we literally have Russia, again, meddling in our elections, and the majority of these threats were made at black polling locations, places where the black residents, the number of black residents is very high in these locations. Not a coincidence, right? We had 38 bomb threats in Georgia alone throughout the day. And the reason I say we need to underline this and take this seriously is that a lot of these polling places were evacuated because they didn't know what to make of them at first. They didn't know if these were serious threats. So think about it. You had so much turnout yesterday, huge amount of turnout on election day. People were evacuated. How many of those people either just chose not to come back or couldn't come back? Maybe they took off on their lunch break to vote. They had to get back to work, right? Or they had to get home to the kids or whatever.
There you go. Like, they went out to vote, but then this shit happened and they couldn't get to another voting poll, so their vote was not heard. Would have wanted to know. Some of them may have voted Trump. But I have a feeling that these voting polls were in predominantly Democratic areas. Where were these? Let's look. From Russia, basically. Black polling stations in Georgia. There you go. Black polling stations. So that's basically...
throughout the day. And the reason I say we need to underline this and take this serious, 30 resident threats in Georgia.
Bomb threats from Russia target 90% black polling locations. In Georgia. Multiple bomb threats reportedly originating in Russia disrupted voting at 2 polling locations in a Georgia city where the population is 90% black. Georgia Secretary of State... See, guys, you give a fuck. You say you care about voter integrity, and then you engage in this shit. So, voter integrity in this case would mean redoing the entire election. Or, not the entire election. The entire state. And then locking up the perpetrators of this crime. They may not be able to get their vote back into the system, but I don't think felons can vote. Well, apparently they can run for office, but at least they're not protected in the case of voting, so... By trying to sabotage an election, you got your ass thrown in prison. You don't get to cast your vote, you're a felon. How's that? How's that for voter integrity? Oh, but it's only voter integrity when you get to vote, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure. So we know goddamn well it's not going to happen. But if it did, it could... Let's see if it could have flipped. Let's see if the country would have flipped. How much would it have made an impact? Wait, no. 270 to win. Let's go there. National president. Can I flip the vote? No, come on! Alright, let's just do that. Alright, so I think we did this the other day. So right now, I think we still don't know Nevada and Arizona. I think those are the remaining electoral votes. So we'll take off Nevada and Arizona. That puts Harris at supposedly 226. Then who's the other place we don't know? Oh, that'll do it. I gotta switch Alaska because they went red. Who else went red? 226 to 295. Alright, so these are okay. Wisconsin went blue. Oh, no, wait, Wisconsin went red, so change that to red. Michigan, back to the... Michigan went red. 295 for Trump, 226 for Harris, so here we are. So if Georgia flipped for blue, the election would still be over at 279. That's assuming that they were, of course, held accountable for what they did. Still wouldn't help, but it would put things into perspective. Yeah, I vaguely remember, but not enough, about something coming out of Pennsylvania, although I don't recall. So I'm not enough to be able to flip that. But, yeah, even if these turn blue, it still wouldn't do anything. Basically, yeah. A lot of it, see, if women in Florida actually understood that Republicans hated them and wanted them to be subservient to men, and actually went blue, we would have cooked them. If Texas went blue, because they're the cornerstone of reproductive freedom, the ground zero for the fight, and they realized that their government wanted nothing to do with their health and safety, and they saw it from their Supreme Court, realized that they were Republican, and they weren't a bunch of dumb, uneducated electorates, and they actually voted blue, it would have crushed Donald Trump. Even if Georgia didn't do anything about the voter suppression. Oh yeah, well, actually no, Washington wouldn't make a difference because they still went Democratic, even though there were terrorist attacks there on their things. All that needed to happen, guys, was for Texas to wake the fuck up and realize that their people are destroying this country. I mean, for fuck's sake, you have 40 votes on the Republican side, and fucking 54 votes on the California side, in addition to Florida at 30, and us at 28. So it's like, you realize if y'all actually did the right thing, and Georgia were to redo their shit and lock up the felons who tried to, rig the election and probably succeeded. Here you go. We would have killed Trump. It would have been slaughterhouse territory. All that had to happen was Texas wake the fuck up and realize that it's the Republicans you got to worry about, and Florida, and even without Georgia, it still would have been a landslide. But still, yeah, there you go. But voters want to have their cake and eat it too. They hate trans people so much they will literally fucking vote for the people that hate them, but hate trans people more. That's usually how fascism works. After all, you allow your life to get worse in hopes that it'll make or it'll make the people's lives the people whom you hate, their lives way worse. So that's why you see like the strategy in the South where they will vote Republican knowing it's going to affect their voting rights, because they know it's going to massively disadvantage black people and LGBT people. They know it's going to do that. And so they're willing to take the temporary burn and deal with it through a referendum, because that's democracy to them, only for them. I'm kind of relieved it didn't work out this time, that their strategy did not work, because it would have been incredibly unjust. So while trans people are suffering and black people are suffering, they're now going to be suffering too. I hope it turns the other way. I hope it turns around. I really don't want them to be subject to those laws. But it starts with them voting the right way. It starts with them getting these people out of power. As long as they're going to continue to vote for these people, they're going to continue to fall victim. So, yeah. Nice try, no cigar, maybe next time. My camera's still going? Good.
Alone throughout the day. And the reason I say we need to underline this and take this seriously is that a lot of these polling places were evacuated because they didn't know what to make of them at first. They didn't know if these were serious threats. So think about it. You had so much turnout yesterday. Huge amount of turnout on election day. People were evacuated. How many of those people, polling locations, massive lines of young, right by Lehigh University. So you had a bunch of young people waiting to vote, a lot of them for the first time. An MSNBC reporter was out there interviewing them. And so many of them, yes, it's my first time. Yes, I'm voting for Kamala. How many of them waited 4 to 5 hours? It wasn't until last night, after almost all the voting was done, that they brought in more machines. Why are we not more proactive about this? You know, when they saw that people were waiting an hour and a half to 2 hours, that's when you bring in more machines. You don't wait till it grows to 4 to 5 hours. So unbelievable. Just failures all around. There were all kinds of games that the Republicans played in the lead up to this election with purging people from voter rolls. Some of them were residents of the United States. They were American citizens, and that was proven. And then they had a lot of time trying to get back on the voter rolls. And how many of them just said,
voter suppression can only work if people are massively bigoted. That's, at the end of the day, that's really what it boils down to. Voter suppression only works if you are massively bigoted. Why? Because you see the shit that they're doing to minority groups, such as LGBT people, such as people of color, and you say you want none of it, so you're going to vote for these people, and and one of those things that they're doing is to cut their vote. You could just not be bigoted and vote for the people who are not going to do that thing, but you choose not to. See, voter suppression can only work if you, the people who still have the votes, actually vote correctly. So at the end of the day, who's really to blame here? And this isn't voting correctly. This isn't me shaming the voter. Like, I know you feel that way if you voted for Trump. Or if you're a whiny little centrist that thinks, oh, so we're going to shame voters now? Listen, the Nazis were voted in. We just went over this. They didn't get a two-thirds majority needed to pass the Enabling Act. But they had enough. People voted for them. Yes, if you voted for Nazis, you are a bad person. Likewise, if you voted for someone who's going to deport millions of people, you are a bad person. Yes, that does mean 80 million people are bad people. Unfortunately, we have to live with the fact that this country is radicalized. We do. We have to live with the fact that the nation's history of fascism and civil rights violations is back upon us, and it's going to get way worse over the next 4 years. And people are unfortunately. So we have to live with the fact that half the country is filled with people who are just bad people. And it's like, what? So you think 80 million people are bad people because they voted for Trump? Let's see. How many people voted for the NASDAQ Weimar.
Idiots vote for idiots.
Exactly. You get it, Luna. So, Weimar elections. So, German National Party, Nazis, 12 seats and 2.6% of the vote. 2.6% of the vote, this was 1928, right? Let's scroll down to 1930. The NASDAQ shot up to 18.3% of the votes. 1932. The NASDAQ, once again, guys, shot up. This is the public. This is the German public. What, you mean 37.3% of German citizens are bad people? Yes. Yes. 37.3% of German people in 1932 were bad people. Election 6th of November. It dropped slightly to 33.1%, right? Yeah, it dropped slightly. By 4 fucking points. 4.5 points. That's it. This doesn't include what happened when Hitler took power. This doesn't show Hitler's popularity. Hang on a minute. Let's actually look that up. Adolf Hitler popularity in 1945. Deutsche Deutschland Reich. It was either the Deutsche Reich or the Deutschland Reich. Doesn't show me anything. Adolf Hitler popularity. Maybe it was Deutsche Reich? Remove Deutschland. So open criticism to the regime was suppressed by the Gestapo and the secret security service of the Nazi Party, but Hitler's government was popular with most Germans. There was, however, some German opposition to the Nazi state, ranging from nonconformity to the attempt to kill Hitler on July 20th, 1944. Whoever attempted that based. If only you were successful. Let's see. So it still doesn't say just how popular he was, what his approval rating was, but yeah. And everybody who liked him was a bad person. Like, you can't get around that. You mean to tell me that they were just misinformed? No. Hitler made sure everybody knew who he was. That he hated immigrants, and he wanted to get rid of them. Such as Trump has made it very clear. Hitler focused way more on Jews. That's the only difference. Was how much focus they put on Jews. Trump focuses way more on immigrants. But the general idea is the undesirables are dirty people and we need to get rid of them. And one of those quote unquote dirty people is trans people. So yeah. That's one of the quote unquote undesirables that both they hated here who the current government also wants to criminalize. Like Project 2025, one of the provisions or one of the things in there is that they want to make being LGBT illegal, and trans people have no claim to any sort of First Amendment protections. So yeah. Yeah, World War II is a very interesting time in history. I did a word for word analysis of Hitler's "Why are we anti-Semites?" To identify things like euphemisms and dog whistles and stuff like that. Um, I plan on, but that was like the first time I did that. I plan to go into other leaders too. So I focus too much on Hitler, but there's so many other examples like Stalin and Mussolini. Benito Mussolini, the father of the fascist movement, I think might be the next person I go into if I ever, you know, when I get more time to go into the different types of, language these people use.
Forget it. I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to try to fight this, right? So Democrats, you need to take off the gloves because Republicans are not playing fair, and we need to start responding in kind. That's all I'm going to say. So here's what we can expect going forward.
Oh, by
right?
the
This thing right
way,
here is a
guys, the election, the House still hasn't been called. We're still waiting on the results from the House. There's still a chance that it might not 100% go Trump's way. At the moment, we're at 206 to 192. There's still 37 seats to be determined. But a lot of those seats, well, I don't know about Maine. Well, maybe Maine. No, because they're a percentage point apart. They're going to trigger a recount. So 0.7% to be exact. And 95% of that votes in. So maybe it's going to swing to Austin Theriault. Maybe it'll swing to Jared Golden. Nevada looks good. They're at 53% of the vote for Stephen Horsford. Yeah, exactly. Hitler did a lot of very populist stuff, and so a lot of people ignored the anti-Semitism. Well, I don't know if they really ignored it. I could be wrong about that, but they definitely did not really care, or else the German, otherwise the Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterparty would not have made like a third of parliament in the Weimar Republic. Like a third is just, and then and yeah. It is close. Like, we're looking, math time. It's time for math. So, what is it? 218 minus 206. So the Republicans to control need 13. Oh, yes. That's my wife. That's my baby. The Democrats, on the other hand, 218. In order to control the House, they need 27 chairs. So the Democrats need 27, the Republicans need 13 in order to control the House. So, what? And you did you go crazy on the perfume? Jesus Christ, Luna! God, that's strong.
It wasn't perfume.
I know it was Febreze. That makes it worse. It's great for hiding weed at work, but not great for trying to smell pretty. It's great if you have ulterior motives and you're at work when you shouldn't be.
National nightmare. I said the other day it felt like it was Christmas Eve. Now it feels like the nightmare before Christmas. So here's what we can expect. The Republicans are going to overplay their hand. I am 100% certain of that. They feel like they have been handed a huge mandate by the American people. They feel that they are invincible, and they are going to go to the extreme. We think we've seen them extreme before.
Yeah, so, and that's the other thing. Like, one of the main issues on Americans' minds, that's how we know that things are not the same as they used to, is immigration. And Kamala Harris leaned to the right on that, and that's really depressing, really sad. But hers was very vanilla compared to what Trump wants to do. She didn't want to deport millions of people. And I'm saying people because I'm not going to specify undocumented immigrants, because they don't just want to go after undocumented immigrants. They want to go after all all immigrant, specifically mostly the brown ones, because let's face it, they don't like the Haitian migrants. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the pets of the people who live there. You know how it goes. You know how they think. So so they voted for Trump's version of what he wants to do for immigration reform. I think Kamala at least wanted to do like a path to citizenship in addition to the deportations, albeit the deportations not nearly as much as Trump, but still. But Trump just wants to get him the fuck out of the country. No nuance, no acknowledgement of birthright citizenship. So just like millions of American citizens are going to be deported because of this. And before we think, oh, well, the American people are not all bad. I'm pretty sure the rest of the world understands that most of the electorate voted for fascism. So in case of our American friends don't actually believe it, let's go look, shall we? Trump won the popular vote by 4.7 million votes. So, that's a popular vote, guys. We used to be able to laugh at Trump. Oh, anybody who's not white, anybody who's not straight, anybody who's not, cisgender, anybody who has a uterus, like, he just does not... I genuinely do feel like discussions, like, we're all, like, I think Texas, you can be sentenced to life for an abortion. I do feel like, and this is very terrifying to say to you guys, but I do unironically believe that discussions of the death penalty are going to come up for abortion. At some point in this election cycle, there will be discussions of the death penalty. So I do want everybody to be aware of that. There is a possibility. I don't have, the actual... anything to show you about that yet. That's why I'm predicting it. It's a prediction, so this isn't a fact. They're two different things I've heard. So don't take that as a fact. That's just a prediction. And I do believe them. When I hear a fascist talk, I believe what they say. I do not believe that they are dishonest in their speaking. I believe them. When their platform says that they want to make being LGBT a crime, I believe them. And so it is for that reason that I believe that it is going to become a very rocky road for any queer person living in the United States. Even if you live in my state or California, where you have LGBT protections, it's still there, like, as we all know, Roe v. Wade was overturned because I think a case on the state level made it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court on the national level struck it down. New York has something explicitly pro-trans in our laws, and now, and I'm gonna dance on this, because I was one of the yes votes in our Constitution that protects being transgender and being and interracial marriages and things like that. In New York State, we might last longer than, say, LGBT people in Texas and Florida. But if, God forbid, our gender expression law is overturned on the federal level, it could nullify and factory reset any protections for trans people on the federal level, because it is a pretty extensive law. It is a pretty extensive thing that says that you cannot discriminate against us for using the bathrooms of our identified gender. You cannot discriminate against us in healthcare and in mental health facilities and things like that. It is a very, very extensive law protects employment, you know, like living arrangements, like everything. It's as explicit as you can get. If that gets knocked down on a nationwide level, that basically factory resets any progress made in the United States. Oh. How the fuck? Wait. Oh, that's why, Okay. Okay, that's why. It's because, yeah. Held for a reason. Yeah. Why is gay filtered? That is so stupid. Twitch don't... What? Twitch wait. Is that Stream Elements that did that? Because I don't think I had this issue before. I hope not. I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out so that it, yeah, I don't know why it did that. That's so dumb. Like... Because it's true, you can, you know, gay sex, like, can actually get you executed in certain places. So, yeah, I don't... Maybe it's because you said gay sex, and they took that as, like, being, like, some kind of explicit, like, comment, and it's like, no. No. Yeah, death is not allowed, or death is allowed, but sex not. It really shows the priority of the Twitch mods. Or not Twitch mods, because, well, yeah, I guess. Because my mods would be stream mods. But anyway, you know what I mean. Twitch clearly is out, you know, they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Or we haven't seen anything yet. They're going to overplay their hand, and that is going to help in the midterm election. I know that's 2 years away. I know it's like, oh my God, we got to hold on for 2 years. Yes, we do. We have no choice. Here's the thing. We saw this. We lived through this, right? In 2016, we heard people say over and over again, yeah, I voted for Trump, but I didn't believe everything he says. He's full of bluster. He just talks. He's not going to do all these crazy things. Do you guys remember a Twitter account called Trump Regrets? I know from a lot of your comments, you're not on Twitter. There was a Twitter account called Trump Regrets, and it was filled with thousands and thousands of people who voted for Trump in 2016 because he was an unknown commodity at that time. And they immediately or sometime thereafter regretted their decision. And they voiced
another one? Yeah, it was because of that. It was because of that. Oh, it's Automod. Automod's doing it. What the fuck? I'll have to figure out Automod off the stream, but I guess for now, until I don't know if my brother's watching this, but if he is, he'll probably be down here, you know, either on my next break or the break after. Or wait, no, because I'm only streaming till like 2 o'clock today, so he'll either come down on my break or I'll go harass him on my break and see if he can help me figure that out. If not, then after I'm done with the stream, I'll figure that out. So, but yeah, meanwhile, until then, I'm just going to be accepting a lot of auto-modded chats. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a very interactive stream, guys.
that regret on Twitter. They tagged him and told him that they regretted voting for him. Or they just posted on Twitter saying, oh my God, I so regret my decision. We're going to see that again. I guarantee we are going to see that again. Because as I've said before, we now have young people who did not experience everything in his first term. They were here on Earth, but they were in elementary school or in middle school.
That's true. When you're a kid, you're fucking sheltered. I did not know how terrible Bush was until I grew up and I started actually, like, hearing the truth about that. In fact, when I was a kid, I wrote a shitty little book, called it Science, and I sent it to the president, and he sent me, like, a picture. Yeah, this was when I was in elementary school. It was shortly after 9/11 happened, and my mom helped me send a little book to the president, George Bush, and he sent me something, I guess a picture of him and his family, and it was nice. I felt like he saw me and he heard me, but I was also like a slobby little 7-year-old who didn't know that 9 times 9 is 81 and 8 times 8 was not 80. Like that was me at the time. Now I know a lot more about George Bush and his war crimes and how he basically was like, you know, Hitler without the Holocaust, invading every country around the globe. Yeah, so yeah. But at least I was old enough to know what a Trump presidency was like. The young uns these days, they won't know what the fuck that's like, and I feel for them. They were deceived. The older ones who know better, like, yeah, no sympathy for you. No matter how your rights are affected, you fucking know better. You fucking knew better. You lived through him, and you voted for him a second time. Like, if you voted for him a first time, or even if you fell for the Trump rabbit hole, or if you even fell down the alt-right rabbit hole but have since come back, like, forgiveness is possible. Like, I love a good comeback story of anybody who realized that they fucked up. And I kind of want to encourage people who realize they fucked up, and not shoo them away. Because if they see that the left is actually a little bit more open, that there is a space on the left where they can actually go, maybe they might leave the alt-right, you know? I've seen Vosh do it, but he's one of the mega fucking streamers. I've got like two subscribers and a dust bunny. Like, so, I don't know. But, oh yeah. I find it funny how, like, I did a Blair White video back in the day about how she doesn't feel like trans people should be forced into this single-party system where they only vote Democrat. But it's like, you're blaming us for telling you that it's your best interest to vote Democrat with the way the Republican Party currently is. You should be looking at the Republican Party and trying to get them to stop it with the transphobia instead of enabling it. Before you say anything about the people who are actually the barrier. So I'm not even talking about an agent for the progression of our rights, because they don't do shit. They don't fucking protect us. But the Democrats serve as a barrier between us and a nightmare where we are not allowed to be free and open. It's not about forcing all trans people to vote fucking Republican. It's about trans people knowing that the Republicans want our vote, and then they want to get rid of us. I don't want to say kill us. That seems a little bit hyperbolic. I mean, I love hyperbolic. Okay, we're going to be hyperbolic. The end of the world is nigh, guys. We're all going to die.
They did not experience it in the same way that you and I did. They didn't have the horror of waking up every day wondering, oh my God, what the hell did he do today? Who is he hurting today? Who is he killing today in the case of COVID? So these young voters are going to have a huge wake-up call. I think a lot of them made their decision at the last minute. Mm-hmm. A lot of them made it based on the Joe Rogan endorsement. And here's my belief. I believe there are two types of Trump voters. I think there are the uninformed and there are the misinformed. The uninformed are the people who don't pay attention to politics. I know many of them. They go off of vibes. They get their news from their friends, their family members, their own little bubble.
I'll be completely honest. One of the reasons I want to be able to provide a space for people who have finally, like, rehabilitated themselves is because these fascists are so fucking manipulative. I'll be completely straight up. Back when Trump was elected, I didn't really know about politics. I was a young reactionary fucking dumbass. And I didn't like Trump or Hillary. I didn't like either option, so I was just gonna pledge, quote unquote, my allegiance to the chair. You know, to the Oval Office, whoever sat in that Oval Office. It was a very, very dumb way to approach politics. Of course, I was like, how old was I at the time? 2016. 2016. Math time. 22. Okay, so I was 22 years old. I didn't really know much. I had just gotten into politics. In fact, at the time I was watching Drunken Peasants, The Amazing Atheist. Who else? Kyle Kulinski from Secular Talk. I hated the Young Turks. I was watching Atheism is Unstoppable. And who else? Armored Skeptic, Jacqueline Glenn. I was basically in the Gamergate circles, you know, the people who were, you know, basically that circle. And they probably were ignorant at the time. Some of these creators that I'm about to mention have since let a lot of their shit known. But there was also like later on they started talking to people like Sargon of Akkad. Who else? There was, I think, No Bullshit. Oh, Felix is being a tyrant. There were but yeah, and at the time, like, my main value, of course, as the reactionary 22-year-old I was of course free fucking speech and blah blah blah. It drove me down a rabbit hole that the only reason I was able to get out of, because they were so manipulative, is the fact that I was trans. And so I was able to, as soon as I came out as trans, I got rid of all the anti-trans propaganda, which also got rid of all the anti-racist propaganda and all that other shit. And I have since been like, I've since been like, I have almost fallen down the tanky rabbit hole not shortly after, it was several years after. I was just starting to dip my feet into the socialism thing. And my first YouTubers who were socialist were, let's see, yeah, especially if so I didn't know much about socialism, so I found Second Thought, and, so I'm, oh yeah, that's true, that is a, oh yeah, that's the one thing I find strange about TYT, is, because I did shortly, like, during my politically silent years, because I did do video essays, and then I went silent for for a couple years, and then now I'm streaming. But I did watch a lot of TYT, and they were, I don't know, I felt like they were, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But they were right on some issues. Jank is such a, I feel like I could do like a parody of a TYT episode where the only thing Jank is doing is just screaming and yelling every single point he's making. And then the other guy is just there. So, what do you think about the Democrats? All right, that's a good response. I like that. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Now, how about Trump? That is a very good option too. What do you think we should do if the country falls to fascism? Like, I'll be completely honest. It would be kind of funny to see that parody, but in reality, I like, as shady as the Young Turks is as a name, I do agree with like maybe over 50% of their politics, like in terms of like Palestinians, the genocide happening over there, maybe less than, because I am socialist and they are at best sock Dems. So they're like more Bernie style, which is not really socialist. But yeah, I would not, like, I think it would be based if they went all the way. But they're not going to. They don't want to be associated with the real, like, the quote unquote far left. Which, by the way, I don't if socialist is far left and tanky is far left, then I'm fucking far left, baby. I will gladly die on that hill.
Who agrees with them, and they trust, and that's what they go off. They do no research, they don't watch the news, they have no clue. Then there's the misinformed group that does watch the news, but all they watch is Fear News Network. They watch OAN, they watch, Steve Bannon, they watch all the shows that tell them everything they're going to hear in their same little bubble. They get no real information.
Yeah, my opinion on Bernie's pretty good. I just think social democracy as a concept is very fragile. The idea that, because basically what, like, socialism, like, in a socialist economy, like, it's dominated by companies similar to, like, Ocean Spray, where they have, like, a worker cooperative environment in which the workers own the means of production. And social democracy does offer a step in the right direction, but I think it focuses too heavily on, like, well, not too heavily, that's too strong. I feel it focuses on, well, maybe that was the right wording. I don't know. Focuses too much on the social safety net and not necessarily the liberation of the workplace from the hierarchical structure of traditional management. Like, I feel like if there was more of accountability in the management structure of corporations, like, for example, the way it currently works is in order to vote for your management, you have to buy into your company. So, like, for me, that would be the associate stock purchase plan because I work for a massive retailer that everybody hates. I currently don't like it there either. but but that's the way you do it, and how much control you have over the company is based on how much money you put in it. So for me, it would be for me a $4,000 position versus someone like Doug McMillan, which has a 40. I don't know how big Doug McMillan's ownership is in the company, but basically the amount of votes you get is dictated by how much money you have, which leads to a very unequal system of control between management and the actual workers. Hang on a minute. Doug McMillan, Walmart, stake. It doesn't really disclose, does it? Oh, he has a... Oh, no, so the... Wait. I don't know how big Doug's stake is, but it's definitely not small. But basically, whatever the majority shareholders have, in this case it would be the Walton family with a 46% stake. They basically would drive the entire direction of the company. Under socialism, it would essentially be more democratic. It would be basically one person, one vote. Management would not have more votes than, say, the workers, and so it would be more fair and equitable. It's one of the reasons why I support, like, the, buying into, like, if you work for a company that offers it, like, if you can, not always, but if you can, and if you want to, if you're willing to, try to see if you can get, like, at least some votes into the company, and try to see if you can, because believe it or not, I've actually voted against, I don't remember if it was Walmart or some other company before I sold, but basically, I voted against CEO compensation, which is an actual thing you can do as someone who owns a stake in a company. I'm, of course, going to be focusing a lot more on Walmart because they are the company I work for, and I don't know. I would be completely fine with Doug McMillan maybe skipping a bonus or two so that can be redistributed equitably among the workers. But it's still not an equitable system because, once again, it's based on how much money you have. And so it's one of the reasons why I don't know. All I know is we need a more equitable structure. And so when you push for... So basically the way I see it is like the social democratic platform is kind of more along the lines of we're going to concede the capitalistic... Oh, I just got a notification. Oh, thank you for following, Sledge. Yep. So, yeah, you have... where was I? So basically you're going to concede the structure as it is, as long as you pay more in taxes and those taxes are redistributed among the population. It's a base message. I mean, I don't agree with conceding the hierarchical structure, but the way I see it, if the entire population is not quite there yet in terms of the means of production being, owned by the workers, then all I can really say is baby steps. Baby steps. It's just a matter of baby steps. You get more people to sympathize with social democracy, and it de-radicalizes them from what they're, what 80 million people plus are currently, believing. And it opens them up to a more fair and equitable idea of an economy structure. And people try to say that a socialist economy just doesn't work because Vuvuzela or ma USSR. First of all, we hate tankies on this channel. Second of all, the USSR was actually state capitalist, and to my knowledge, Venezuela has been constantly interfered with. They never really had a chance to get their shit set up. And Ocean Spray and many other socialist structures, companies, are doing just fine. You don't have to fire people. You all can collectively agree to take a lesser pay because times are tough. And then when times get better, you can re-increase your pay. That is an actual thing that can happen. But it is definitely better than mass layoffs or during an economic downturn, objectively. And plus, in this system, you don't have to buy into your company in order to gain votes, as in become a shareholder. You can just have votes because you work there. It is an objectively better system. But the problem is the powers that be want to tell us that it's not going to work. It just doesn't work. And the reason they tell us that is because, God fucking forbid, workers get paid more, workers have better benefits, etc., etc. It's, it's, Alright, see ya, Sledge. So yeah, it's there is a chance for a better system, but it requires us all to work for it, and to be, willing to open our minds up to something better than the current system we got now. That's basically my opinion on, on SOCDEM. It's a fun idea, and it's like a transition period between capitalism to socialism. So I do think social democracy does need to be encouraged and fought for. But after we have officially structured that up, we then need to move on to dismantling and creating a more socialistic structure where workers actually have rights over the company. And I'm pretty optimistic. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult now, but persistence, guys. Persistence.
They're told over and over again that Donald Trump is the second coming. He is perfect. He does absolutely nothing wrong. He is hurting no one. And those people, I don't think there's really any hope for them, because they're not about to change up their news diet. They don't want to know the truth. But I think the uninformed voters, which I think includes the younger people, I think they are in for a rude awakening. Just like people were in for a rude awakening in 2016, and they ended up regretting it, and then we saw what happened in 2020, because it was the same electorate, pretty much, right? Or it was at least young people who were old enough, who lived through Donald Trump's first term, that they understood what a danger he was. They understood the promises he made and broke about protecting them at schools and, helping financially and COVID and everything else. They were old enough to understand it. And we all saw it, we all lived through it, and that is why everybody kicked him out in 2020. But we are dealing with a completely different electorate now, right? And I know there were something like 45% of the people who voted for him, or 45% of the Hispanic community voted for him last night, which was unbelievable. I think they fall into the uninformed category. Some are misinformed, but some are uninformed. So they're in for a very rude awakening, because how many of those Hispanic voters have family here who are undocumented? I personally know some people who, they may be younger generation, but they're older generation, their parents or their grandparents or both, or they have cousins or aunts and uncles who are undocumented. What is going to happen if he follows through, as he said, on these mass deportations, and he starts rounding all of their family members up and
yeah, there you go. And you see, that kind of makes me a little bit worried, although I'm not sure I could be okay. But my great-great-grandmother was part Quebecois. No, not part Quebecois. Was Quebecois. She migrated from Quebec to New York. And I think my great-great-grandfather, who she married, was from France. I don't know how they came in here. They could have come here undocumented. I don't know. But I question whether or not that could affect me. It's very terrifying. And I'm so goddamn white, I'll get lost in a fucking blizzard. If I get lost in a blizzard, you ain't gonna fucking find me, because I'm so white. So I don't know, maybe I'll be okay. This one back here dying. Yeah. So this one back here dying. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know, maybe I'll be okay, maybe because my great-grandmother great-great-grandmother and great-great-grandfather are no longer alive, or maybe because they came in through the channels. But either way, Like, it's just so terrifying to know that that's how close you are to being one of those unlucky people. How many people think they're going to be safe, but actually aren't? Those, I feel like we're going to hear a lot from them. I'm here in Mexico. I didn't think Trump was going to deport me. I'm no longer in, I don't know, Oklahoma. I was shuttled to the Mexican border. Or you might see someone, I'm in El Paso, Texas, waiting for my shuttle to cross the Mexican border because I was deported because I voted for the leopards eating people's faces party. And if you think that's not a thing that's going to happen, come on, guys. The Latin American vote doubled from last election cycle to this election cycle. That is not... That just shows you where the vote, like, how far things have shifted in this country. It's terrifying. Like, how are you so brainwashed and so dumb in the head that you're going to vote against your special interest? I keep saying special interest. Your own interest. Like, it's unconscionable. But I feel like it's the same thing as, like, you know, with women who vote, you know, cis women who vote for Trump. It's because of the dirty transes. They want to make sure that the transes don't actually, have rights. And also, you know, in the case of women, it's the transes and the blacks and the immigrants. In the case of immigrants, it's probably just the transes. So, you know, they think that that Trump's not going to eat them too. It's really sad to see that they voted that way, and I really hope for the best for them. But at the end of the day, if the leopards come for them, I'm not... I want to cry. I will want to cry, but I'm probably going to be more like, I told you so. You were making fun of us for calling him a fascist, and you decided to vote for him just to spite us. How's that working out for you? Well, guess what I'm gonna do, because Trump just got rid of term limits. Oh my God, I will vote again. I will vote for Donald Trump. 2028, baby! Woo!
Jesus Christ!
Welcome to my live stream, honey.
And shuttling them out of the country. How are they going to feel, right? And guess what? It's on them. It is on you, Mr. and Mrs., you know, Hispanic voter who thinks that Trump is a great guy.
There you go.
Yeah. And he starts rounding all of their family members up, and shuttling going to happen. If he follows the parents or their grandparents, personally know some people who they may be younger generation, but they're older generation, their parents or their grandparents or both, or they have cousins or aunts and uncles who are undocumented. What is going to happen if he follows through, as he said, on these mass deportations, and he starts rounding all of their family members up and shuttling them out of the country? How are they going to feel, right? And guess what? It's on them. It is on you, Mr. and Mrs., you know, Hispanic voter who thinks that Trump is a great guy. And he's just talking. He's not going to.
I unironically agree
with her.
her.
We saw it in 2016, 2017 when he started the family separation policy, and how many people had their lives altered forever.
Did you at least
it will never be the
use
same.
lube? Did you? Or no, wait, you didn't fuck yourself. Someone else fucked you. No, wait. No, it won't. No, it would be a self fuck. Did you get? Was it like a suction cup dildo? Did you put lube on it and like ride it? Like how did that go? How did that work out? Well, we'll find out in the next 4 years.
Right? I mean, it's going to happen. I guarantee it's going to happen. And one of Trump's people was just recently on a show, and they asked him, this is one of Trump's top advisors, and they said to him, what are you going to do if you have an undocumented person and they have children here who were born in America, who are U.S. citizens, who have never known any other country, who have never lived anywhere but the U.S.? And he said, you throw the kids out with them. Yeah, wait till that starts happening. Here's the other thing that's going to happen.
It's
we have anti-choice groups who are already plotting their federal ban. The president of Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America said, quote, President Trump's first term pro-life accomplishments are the baseline for his second term. In the long term, GOP pro-life resolve must be strengthened and centered on the unalienable right to life for unborn children that exists under the 14th Amendment. So they're going to push for a federal ban. And Trump is going to be caught between a rock and a hard place. Because as we saw from these abortion amendments, the majority of the country is not with them. The majority of the country does not want a federal ban. But we know that Trump and Vance do. So we'll have to see, you know, which way he tilts on this. I mean, he doesn't have to win another election. So, you know, he doesn't have to go with what the majority thinks. So that part's going to be very interesting to watch.
So he doesn't have to win another election. It makes me very curious as to how this is going to play out. What is that going to look like? Is he going to abolish term limits, and also maybe when it's time for election to come up, is he going to do something to make sure that the election doesn't happen? like, it's a very curious thing. Like, what is Trump gonna do to take full advantage of his new power? Because to the young people that think Trump was just was like, to all you younger folks, you Gen Z types that wanted to vote for this because you have no idea what the fuck we lived through in 2016. Just understand, you think we over-exaggerated 2016. He doesn't have the checks and balances that he did back then. You don't know what the fuck we dealt with, and we don't know how much worse it's going to be now. You swimming in your piss-filled diaper yet? I hope so.
And wait until all of these young men, all these young male voters, figure out that abortion rights aren't just about women. Wait till they figure out that they're going to have to pay child...
My favorite! Yes! Yes! You think forcing women to be your baby factory is going to play well for you? Well, I hereby declare that every single person out there that is forced to carry their baby to term because these fucking men want to basically make absolutely sure that everybody's subservient to them, sue them. Oops. Sue them. Make absolutely sure that they fucking so they're going to have to pay you child support. And guess what? They're also going to pay those tariffs on those same child support goods. Yeah. This is going to be a great presidency, guys. There's going to be so many ways in which these fuckers are going to know. Where did we go wrong? Oh, are you going to believe us now when we tell you that the Republicans are actually, sacrificing you to the wolves? You going to believe us now? Or are you going to vote for another Republican this cycle, 2028? Are you? Are you? Or are you going to believe us now, you little twerps?
support for 18 years.
Give it time,
They think their cost of living is high now.
4 years.
Yeah. As the saying goes, be careful what you wish for. So here's what we could see. High now. Wait till they figure out that they're going to have to pay child support for 18 years. Yeah, they think their cost of living is high now. Yeah. As the saying goes, be careful what you wish for. So here's what we could see. Here is the silver lining I want to bring to all of you. Yes, there will be regrets. Yes, in 2028, hopefully in 2026 and 2028, we will see a massive repudiation of MAGA. But we also could see something very different and maybe more permanent and lasting. We are probably going to see a migration to blue states, which will be a shift in the electorate.
That'd be
now,
nice.
You say, are you sure? Why would that be? Well,
I do think, and I would propose every fucking blue state, you need to politically vet your candidates, and you need to politically vet your citizens. Keep the Republicans out of. Oh no! Wait. No, that's not gonna work either. Nope, that's not gonna work either. Fuck! Oh, I know what we can do. Red states deport Democrats to blue states. No. Currently red states, deport your Democrats to every single state with more than 30 electoral votes. Deport every Democratic citizen of your state to states with more than 30 votes. I don't care if they're a red state or a blue state, because it's not going to matter next election cycle if the majority of population in these places are Democrat. And then, to all the blue states, wait. No. Keep your conservative citizens there. You need to dilute the vote, right? So red states, deport your Democratic citizens to the more to the states that have like 30 plus electoral votes, and Democratic majority states, keep your conservatives. You need to dilute them, because if you send them to the
6-week ban on abortion,
because if you send them to the states with lesser votes, that's just going to add up and it's not going to work in your favor. You need all the big states. So keep your conservative friends just do a mass immigration of all the Democratic voters, and do voter ID bans so that everybody can just vote and vote multiple times and vote Democrat multiple times. You can only submit one Republican vote, but you can submit like 5 or 10 Democratic votes. I think that'd be based. You can do that. We need to fight for a world like that, guys.
Florida. and 58% of the residents there disagree, how many of them are going to stay in Florida? How many of them are going to take their chances with maybe their own miscarriage and dying because of that 6-week ban?
Oh, yeah,
how many
yeah,
of the residents
guys,
are going
I
to
bet you,
risk their
didn't
daughters'
think
lives,
about that, guys.
their granddaughters' lives, their nieces?
You voted because down with trans people, and now you thought that was going to work out for you, and now you got that 6-week abortion ban because you didn't quite cross the 6% or the 60% threshold in the the Republican majority that you guys keep electing. Wanted to put that in there. So now, even though you voted, majority to legalize it, it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough because you hate yourselves. And you brought this upon yourselves because you don't like trans people. So you didn't get what you want. It didn't work out for you. You're going to have to suffer with us. And honestly, if you want to repent of your sins, and apologize, and promise that you will never vote for another R ever again, and you will only vote for the D, because D is great. I love D. I would suck on a D every day. Then
I mean,
you're welcome. You're welcome to come here. Hope to be your antidote to the poison you've succumbed to.
Take your pick, right? And then they're going to go all in on anti-LGBTQ stuff. It's going to get even worse. Just be prepared for that. So, we've already been hearing, I see in the comment section, I see on other sites, people saying that they don't feel safe in Florida, given that they're a part of that community, or they have a family member, a child maybe, that's a part of that community. So they're going to start moving. I think we're going to see some migration to other states. Maybe on the west or on the East Coast, we might see more people move to North Carolina, and that might be a good thing for the midterms and for the next presidential election in 2028. Maybe we will see North Carolina flip blue. It was close, it wasn't like it was out of the realm of possibility this year. Unfortunately, the one thing it won't affect is the census. So as you guys all know, I think it's every decade they do the census, and that determines how many seats each state gets in the House of Representatives. So unfortunately, we're not going to have another census for a while, so we're not going to see that affected, because what we really need to do is get the population down in these red states. That's the problem. They've had a boon. They've had an influx of people moving there, like Texas. You have a lot of Democrats that have moved into that state, and it gave them more political power. Unfortunately, not enough Democrats have moved in that it has flipped the state to a blue state, or even purple at this point. It is solidly red, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Ted Cruz won last night.
Yeah.
So that's going to take some time.
Despite the fact that Colin Allred exposed him for the child rapist enabling fool that he is, they still voted for the child rape enabler. So Texas is very pro-child rape and forced birthing of children, while they scapegoat trans people as predators for using the bathroom of their assigned gender or getting dressed in a locker room. So let that sink in.
We're going to see an increase in bigotry and hate crimes, as we saw during Donald Trump's first term in office. That is undeniable. A neo-Nazi literally just endorsed Trump. It is a former Proud Boy, of course. He is a current leader of what's known as the NSC 131 group. His name is Chris.
Yeah. Trump may not think he's a Nazi. You may think he's not a Nazi. But Nazis think he's a Nazi. Anyway, I've been streaming for for about an hour and a half. I am going to break, you guys. I love you all. And if you're liking the stream, if you're enjoying the stream, feel free to feel free to share the stream. We're going to have a lot of nice, interesting discussions. And also, feel free to check out my Discord. Yes, I do have an X account, but I need to figure out what the fuck I did with it. And we're going to go from there. In the meantime, I love you all, and I'll see you when I get back from my break. we're all back. We're back, bitches. What? What do you want? Alright. Enough of my, Alright, tea. So we are slightly back. Wish I guess I can try to keep my stuff like this. I guess. Maybe. Sort of. Don't know. Maybe if I lower the mic slightly. Or the camera slightly. There we go. We got my nice little streamer set up. Alright. Let's get back into some politics. I'm assuming we don't have any updates from the, we're on? Good. I'm assuming we have no updates from the House. Oh, actually, yeah, we do. A race just got called. 39 minutes ago. That went to Laura Gillen, based ass New York. Love it. So what are we? Still, obviously, U.S. House. Ow, my sciatica's acting up. I fucking love it. Wait, we gotta go to specifically New York. So are we all voted on our shit? Are we all voted out? Let's see. So Nicholas Lalota won District 1, Andrew Garbarino won District 2, Thomas Suzy, the Democrat. So from District 3 all the way to 10, they're all Democrats. District 1, 2, and 11 appear to be Republican. Same with 17. And everybody else is a based... Oh my fucking god. Alexandria re-won her thing. Yes. Another 4 years of AOC, baby. Fuck yes. Alrighty. What about here? 3 Republicans, 3 Democrats. Okay. I guess we're, okay-ish. So... yeah, well, I think New York is all concluded, so we're gonna keep you updated on literally everywhere else. So, I want, like, if you're in New York and you're listening to this, I want you to fucking pat yourself on the fucking back. Why do I say that, motherfuckers? 'Cause look at this shit right here. Wait. Yep, okay. I'm at the right one. All right. Equal protection of law. Overwhelmingly. Land fucking slide. 61.8% to 38.2. Well done, fuckers. Let's see what this law does. This proposed amendment to New York's Constitution would expand anti-discrimination and equal protection rights to include ethnicity, national origin, age, disability, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, yes bitch, and expression, pregnancy outcomes, and reproductive health care. Based motherfuckers. Based motherfuckers. I fucking love New York. Established Chief Business Diversity Officer. Let's see what this does. Oh. I'm assuming it was some CRT thing that... I'm assuming it was... people were calling it CRT. So they said no. We don't want no equality for the browns and the blackses. We hate equality. Of course. It's New York City. You know, with one of the most racist police departments of the whole country. So... but I still wanna at least give props to all my fellow New Yorkers for passing this. Y'all motherfuckers are fucking based. I love you. I love you, New York. In fact, I really should. I should unironically. Let me see if I can find one. Here we go. Not transparent. Not transparent. I need transparent! It has to not interfere with the stream. It has to, it has to! Here we go. I think. No, go back. Where was it? It was this one? This one? Nope. We saw it a minute ago! Y'all fuckers fucking suck. I literally just saw it. Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. Can I copy the image? Open it up in Inkscape. Get out of here, calculatrice. Inkscape, right here. I want to see if I can, because I just want to rub it in that New York is the basest state in the whole union. I want to rub it in. I am proud of New York. I fucking love us. We voted against fascism. Let's see, selection. Videos. Open. Images. Open. I heart NY. Save. And then I'm going to go ahead and export the next one. Export that, and we are good. I am going to go right ahead and add that image right in here. I am proud of you, New York. I don't think you understand how great you are. I am a New York supremacist on this bitch. I heart New York. Alright. There you are. Open. Da 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 da. Want it to be beneath the YouTube chat because I don't want it to interfere with anybody who may end up with a little bit of main character syndrome. There we go. There we go. You are looking so much better now, chat. Even though there's nobody chatting. Blabble. By the way, blabble blab's a curse word, so if you say it in my chat, only I get to say blabble blab in my chat. So if you say blabble blab in your chat, you're gonna get 30-second timeout. There we go. Wait, how am I not signed in? You fucking fuck. How dare you, you bitch? I will kill you in a video game. Blabble blab. Did it work? Got it on Twitch, and I got it on YouTube. Yes! Alright, we are good to go. Made my YouTube chat look a little lively. It's not just YouTube. Anyway, yes, I commented on my own chat. People are gonna be like, what is wrong with her? What is wrong with me? Everything. And if you listen to the right, what is wrong with me? I'm trans. That's what's wrong with me. Oh yeah, that is true. My crypto portfolio is massively up. I ended up rebalancing it because of how up it is. My bonds shot down, so I bought the dip. But it's like, at the same time, people are trying to say this is proof that a Trump presidency... People would probably try to say that it's proof that the Trump presidency is a good thing, but it's like, everybody else is going to be able to keep those gains. I'm going to be using those gains to try to either A, survive, or B, get the fuck out of this country because I can't survive. So, that's where those gains are going. It's not really a fair, really a fair trade for me. I don't really feel like I'm benefiting from the boom on the markets, if one might say. You know what I mean? Just doesn't feel right. Oh, blue sky. I don't know if I should. You know what I kind of want to do? I want to go to Stream Elements, but I don't want to on stream. First, I'm going to close out of this. Get out of here. Close without saving, bitch. I will eventually get my Blue Sky account set up. Okay. I'm not watching anything Fox News. We don't need their shit brainwashing us into thinking that there's anything good going on with the presidency. We already know it's all bad. And stop playing the stupid music. I swear to God. Let's see. Oh, Jesse Gender made a really good video. In fact, I'm gonna start recording here. Yeah, because Jesse Gender made a really good video on... And I just want to share it with you guys. I don't know how many of you, like whether you're watching live or if you're watching the, you know, after I post to the channel. But Jesse, wait, this is Jesse Gender After Dark. Where's... Yeah, Jesse Gender made a really touching video. So I don't know if you guys know about her, but she's really good.
Right now, I carry within me 1,000 storms in my brain, each one murmuring its own grief, its own rage, its own sorrow. And I know, in this moment, I am not alone. I know many of you, too, are feeling all of it, all at once.
Yeah.
And to be
even those of us who are in blue states, like, we're not entirely safe either. Because if I recall correctly, Roe v. Wade was overturned because of something going on at the state level. Like, that made its way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court struck it down. And there's so many ways in which, if someone in New York State took gender to the U.S. Supreme Court and gave them a say over it, they would also shut it down. So if they strike down gender, New York State, the Gender Expression Non-Discrimination Act, that will cascade down to the entire country. We're in a very fragile period of time right now. So, yeah.
frank, I'm also carrying personal news of grief that I learned this morning that I'll briefly mention later that's tangled up in all of this, and it's hard for me to parse. In time, I hope I will have much more to offer, more words that are tangible for the situation and actions that will be constructive. But for now, this is what I have to give, and I hope it helps, despite where it starts. This country has always cloaked itself in the robes of freedom, justice, and progress, selling itself as a beacon of hope to those willing to believe. But beneath that shining mask, the cold truth is unmistakable. It was never about hope for all. It was a system built to preserve its own...
Exactly. It's about hope for specifically, I don't want to say land owning because there are other asset classes other than land. It's specifically for equity. Actually, equity is not all there is too. We'll just say asset. Asset owning white men specifically. So I need to stop saying land owning white men. But the initial Constitution was about land owning white men and preserving their rights. Which, if we're not careful and we go back to the days of the old school Constitution, we'll be having people of color doing it again. Don't think I need to specify what I mean by it. Because it wasn't good. You know, when I say it, well, you want to know what I'm talking about? Let's just say the 1800s was a very, very shitty time to be black. Very shitty time. So, yeah. If we go back to those days, what's it going to be like? I don't care to find out. Especially since I have 2 black nephews and a black niece. My black niece was just born the other day. I don't want to see anything bad happen to her because America decided to vote white and vote cis and vote male.
Power and its own interests. Hope was its currency, its bait used to lure us in, to make us believe that we could belong, and that we could rise. And sometimes it even offered that in small bits and bites. The same hope that it used to elicit many of us to engage in its choice last night as of my filming this. All while the very gears of the system ground down those who would never truly have a chance to thrive. And yesterday, as of...
Yeah, so that would be anybody who doesn't have generational wealth. So if you're trying to build your own shit from the ground up, like your own nest egg, Like, for example, that's what I'm trying to do, and because I've been out of work for a few weeks due to a broken arm, that nest egg is gradually depleting. Thankfully, I was approved for disability payments, so I'll be able to replenish some of my nest egg. Not all of it. That will only happen when I return to work in a few more weeks. But we're on a good path to that, actually. My doctor wants to see me in just a couple more weeks, and we're going to focus on, I guess, motion. So that's going to be cool. He does want me to take my arm out of the cast every once in a while and do these exercises, which I'm glad he did, because it can be, like, even now when I take my arm out of my sling, it fucking hurts. Like, I can't move it without the other arm assisting, because in order to actually move it, it requires me to use, like, this part of my shoulder. When he says to do, like, the exercises, he wants my palm to be like this and my arm to be like this against my body and to just go like this in order to prevent stiffness. And oh my goodness, my arm does feel fucking weak. But anyway, yeah, so it's just a matter of being very careful, not fucking up the shoulder any further.
Of this filming, its bitter, loud, ugly declaration of what this country is, has always been, pulls the curtain back once again. America chose hatred.
Yeah.
And in doing so, it has re-emphasized to me a truth I cannot forget. That a truly better tomorrow, one that we all dream of and hope for,
This is the
has always been beyond our
heartbreaking
reach
part
on this
that
country's
she
terms
said.
that it has set over the centuries. Because it doesn't want it. That is not a characterization of everyone, but a characterization of the nation, the state.
Yeah.
A part of me, the part that clings to a belief that a better future was inevitable, feels crushed beneath the weight of this reminder recast as supposed revelation. That belief, once so loud, now feels like a distant echo, slipping further away with each passing moment.
I feel that. That does kind of hit close to home, because I'm scared for myself. I'm scared for my partner. My partner doesn't pass as much as I do, and I don't pass as much as someone like Blair White. I feel like Blair White's going to be okay. I mean, she passes enough to where when she did a video of her using the bathroom, nothing happened when she went into the women's bathroom, but in the men's bathroom, she was escorted out of the building. So she might fare well. She might do okay. She's got that passing privilege, but my partner and I, not so much. I mean, you can still hear based on my voice. I'm not doing very well. So, we have to have an exit plan, because we're not putting our lives on hold just so that these fascists can have their way. We will remain on the run country to country, until we are sure that we find a place where we're going to be safe. We like, after this stream, I'm hoping to go update my my passport. I was supposed to do that yesterday, but I stayed up so late because I could not sleep from the result of the election that it didn't end up happening yesterday. So trying to get that done today. It's better to have it and not need it, and need it than not have it. That is basically my logic. And I think there are multiple things that I'm looking for to determine when is the right time to flee. There are multiple things, actually. The tariffs, because I know you young'uns don't actually know how a tariff works, but that's also because you're young and stupid. Trust me, I was also young and reactionary and stupid when I was your age. I learned my lesson, so don't worry. You're welcome here when you finally pull your head out of your ass. This is not the place to deconvert you. If you want something like that, well, you might want Destiny's stream. He's kind of a debate me bro still. You might be able to watch some of Vosh's old stuff, old content. He's got a lot of nice videos back during his debate me bro days. Hasanabi, I don't know if he was debate me bro, but he has hosted some debates, and he does, but here, if you need to be convinced that a 10-year-old should not be forced to carry a rapist baby, I can't help you. This is not the stream for you. I don't know what to say. Sorry. But when you finally pull your head out of your ass and realize that trans people are human just like you, and that immigrants should not be mass deported just because you don't like brown people, and people with funny accents, when you finally realize that child rape should not be enabled through forcing children to carry their rapist babies to terms, once you come to terms with that, welcome aboard. I'll gladly have you over here, but we do not debate human rights on this channel.
Still, a darker part of me, the one that once murmured quietly, now speaks with unflinching clarity. What a fool I was to believe in it. It tells me that there is no better tomorrow. It tells me that such things are
And it's sad
impossible.
that
That what we
it's really sad that some people actually feel this way. It really is, because we've come so far as a fucking country, accepting everybody for who they are, or so we thought, and then Trump won the popular vote. It really puts into perspective how the American public is. I unironically do believe that everybody who says that you should not shame the voters is incredibly delusional, because I would have shamed people voting for the Nazi Party. Likewise, I do shame people voting for MAGA. I think that you are unironically misinformed at best, and just scum of the earth at least, or at worst. You know what I mean? Like, just pure utterly genocidal and hateful. I think at the moment you are going to be laughing at me, but when you're finding that your economic situation is now way worse because cost of living has gone up due to Trump's tariffs, you'll be coming back here and you'll be saying, I feel so fucking stupid, Michaela. You were right. I should not have voted for this lunatic. How much longer is this going to be? And truth is, you locked us in for 4 fucking years. We ain't going to be free, at least until 2028. To which case you will have the choice to basically repair your conscience by voting the correct way and actually voting against these dipshits that want to destroy the country. I'm not even saying don't ever vote Republican. Like, if you think the economy would do better under Republicans, then that's fine. You know? I'll discuss that with you, why I think you're full of shit. But if you care about human rights and you just can't bring yourself to vote Republican or to vote Democrat, and you want the Republicans to stop voting or to stop being genocidal and hateful, maybe sit out the next few Republican elections or the next few elections. You know? You don't have to vote Democrat, but you also do not have to vote Republican while these fruitcakes are out here preaching genocide and ethnic cleansing. You can vote exclusively Republican your whole life based on economics. But if you're voting because abortion and immigration and LGBT rights and stuff, you can't get mad when people call you hateful and bigoted. And like I said, you can laugh all you fucking want. But you'll be coming back in a few years and thinking to yourself, what have I done? I can't afford anything, and now I have all this child support to pay because my partner couldn't get an abortion and now I owe them child support. I want to see how your life is going to be. And I will welcome you to this stream when you finally pull your head out of your ass. And I'm going to be laughing at you at first. But, just try to pull your heads out of your asses and realize that this country doesn't just belong to you. I think eventually you'll learn.
we have left is only endurance out of obligation to the fact that I exist. Only survival in a structure that asks, no demands, us, to never be more than our submission to it.
Mm-hmm.
To imagine a world unchanged, unyielding, unforgiving, endless in its cruelty, that thought suffocates me. And it is a
I'm
weight
not going to watch
upon
the
my chest
whole video,
that has been
but
pressing
one
down.
of the reasons she's having so much trouble is because of the fact that she can't just grieve her, I don't remember if it was her mother or her grandmother, but she can't just grieve because of this. She wants to grieve, but this is really weighing on her. Wait, is Jessie gender she, her, or they, them? I think I'm going to use they, them until I know for sure. I don't want to be disrespectful of them. Oh shit, they have Twitch? Based. I'm going to add them. Can't do it now, but yeah, I'm going to add them on Twitch. Based. Fuck yes. But anyway, yeah, so, it's a very dark place that this country is going, and I do hope that, that we're able to make it through. 144, I think we can do another. Alright, let's see. Oh, looks like Vosh is about to go live. Yeah. I'll be notified anyway. Oh, wait, I'm done with that segment. I can go ahead and release that one. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the next 4 years, guys. Wait, what am I doing? Go here? Wait. I'm gonna open this in a new tab. Yeah, I think I'm gonna post some of my segments. I need to stop procrastinating and actually start posting my shit. I procrastinate too goddamn much. Alright, where are we? This was 1:28 p.m. So that was right now. So I'll go ahead and grab this. Queen Matriarch. Wait, no. To Jessie gender on the election results. Wish there was a way to actually edit the video. I think that was this one. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on private for now, just because I don't know. Saved as private. Okay, good. No. Next. 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 We're gonna do unlisted for now, because I want to go back through these and make edits to them. Just trying to get them onto my stream for now. I think this is the one about Jessie gender. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Could be the one I just filmed. Is it? Let me check the battery on my camera real quick. Half a battery. It's alright. Stream's going offline soon anyway. I'm almost done here. Probably gonna do one more segment before I call it quits. Might go ahead and upload another video. Select files. Wonder what this one's about. This was on the 2nd. I'm gonna do the same thing I did here. Next. Unlisted. Because I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know if I'm going to post all of them. Just going to upload a few of them. And then just work with them later. I should hopefully have my content up. Because I need to stop procrastinating. I need to start uploading my shit like I say I'm going to. I always record my segments for the purpose of, you know, for my viewers who watch after the stream's over. And then I never do anything with them. I think I did a... Oh, I think this was the Hakeem segment. But I don't know. So I'm, once again, just going to put this on unlisted. And then save. And then I'll edit these accordingly. Okay. Leave site. Yep. Is this one finished uploading? I don't know how many of you. This
I
one.
hope I will have much more to offer. More words that are tangible for the situation and actions that will be constructive. But for now,
Okay, so
this
this
is what I have to
one's
give. And I hope it helps,
okay.
despite where it starts.
The other arm assisting, because in order to actually move it, it requires me to use like this part of my shoulder. Yeah, this is... When he says to do like the exercises, he wants my palm to be like this and my arm to be like this against my body and to just go like this in order to Alright, so, yeah, we're good.
With President-elect Donald Trump now waiting for...
So let's go ahead and... Oh no! Get back here. Seriously? History. Bannon. So, Bannon admits Project 2025 is their real agenda. So let's see what that's about.
With President-elect Donald Trump now waiting for his second term to start, January, MAGA pundits already admitting to a bit of a bait and switch. You see, Donald Trump claimed to not know anything about Project 2025. Obviously, Bannon is like, actually, you know what? That was the plan all along.
Matt Walsh, welcome back. Matt Walsh, I think, is a very smart and a funny guy. Just put up on Twitter. Now that the election is over, I think we can finally say that, yeah, actually, Project 2025 is the agenda. That's from Matt Walsh. Fabulous. I'm going to have to, Grace, if we can grab that and put that over. Mike.
Fabulous. Oh, let's put that everywhere. Real agenda. Yeah, so yeah, basically admitting to, you know the FDA? We want them to reverse the 24-year-old approval of Mifepristone, which is the abortion pill, okay?
Yeah.
Used in a lot of abortion, okay? And to use the Comstock Act to go...
So basically, every woman who voted for Trump is going to have to let this weigh in, or sit on their shoulder. Yeah, get out of here. Alright. But anyway, so yeah, I think, I basically think that we need to start, like every woman who voted for Trump, knowing that this is what's going on, you know, you gotta sit with this. This is on you. You did this to yourself. Men didn't do it. Without, like, yeah, men overwhelmingly voted for Trump, okay? But, you know, you do realize, like, there have been plenty, apparently there have been plenty of women that said, yeah, I voted for abortion, but I also voted Trump. Well, then you're stupid. So, but anyway, that's just my position. And now Project 2025 is coming over and they're revealing their true intentions. Yeah, women, we hate you. we don't just hate the LGBT people. We don't hate the browns. We don't hate the blacks. We don't hate the Jews. We hate all of you. We want all of you to either disappear or accept your subservience to us. That is basically what this is. So yeah, sit on that. Let that weigh over your shoulder over the next 4 years. I want you to think that maybe there's a possibility that maybe you will actually do the right thing next time, and realize that, maybe being a dumbass is not the right way to engage in electoral politics.
For providers that distribute those bills through the mail, which is an effective abortion ban. They also want to create a so-called pro-life task force to ensure that all the department's divisions seek to use their authority to promote the life and health of women and their unborn children. And that any program within the Health and Human Services Department should maintain a, quote, biblically based, social science reinforced definition of marriage and family, which again would essentially mean trying to ban same-sex marriage.
Yeah, there you go. Same-sex marriage, interracial marriage, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, like, if you think that you're safe because you're, if you think you're safe, you're delusional. These people are fucking crazy. They will deport you if you're pro-Palestine. So just be aware of that. Like, we tried, because at least Kamala Harris would have been easy to work with in terms of forcing her to do the right thing. And we cannot blame this on the third party vote because of the fact that we have sufficiently shamed them. It wouldn't have been much of a difference. It was not much of a difference. In fact, let's look at the third party vote, what actually came out. So while they tried their best, they would not have actually been the reason we went to Trump, because Jill Stein is a 0.5 percentage point versus the rest of it. And the other candidates, Robert Kennedy, Chase Oliver, Claudia de la Cruz, Cornel West, Rhonda Terry, although Cornel West I think Cornel West was one of the good ones. None of these people won. Holy shit, that's a lot of fucking candidates. But anyway, yeah, so Jill Stein, no fucking impact. And none of these others had any impact on the election. At most, it would have been 1.5 percentage points, I think it was, because the others were 1%, and Jill Stein is, of course, 0.5. Wait. No. 1.9%. So 1.9% would have 47.6% if every single one of them voted for the Democratic candidate. It would have been what was it? 47.6. No? 47 points. Come on. 0.6. And now we're going to add 1.9. It would have been 49.5% of the vote, in which Trump would have still had over a percentage lead over her, in which case you cannot blame this election on the third-party voters. They were not successful in affecting the election. They just basically made it more difficult to win slightly, but even if they did not, we still would have only been at 49.5% of the vote. So we can shame them for voting for the Green Party, which has decided to take a more right-wing approach to social issues, especially on the issues of trans rights. But they would not have made any difference in the election this time around. So you cannot really blame them for the loss. But in terms of their policies, absolutely shit on them all day. Yeah. So
it's going after transgender people. It means going after all these people, right, that are not having any negative impact on your life whatsoever. If you voted for Trump because, hey man, inflation, right? what do trans people have to do with inflation? Okay,
Yeah.
what does somebody having an abortion have to do with the price of eggs? All right,
I'll tell
being
you
too
what.
high? It's got
It's because of the fact that our dicks are so big. The trans girl dick is so big that when we put it inside of our food prices and we get hard, it like causes the price to go up, and that causes inflation. And so we need to like ban trans people or something. So that's how that works. Inflation works because trans people like fuck the food prices somehow. And yeah, so that's how that works.
nothing. It's got nothing. And yet, Project 2025 is all about that. It's all
We're just discussing Project 2025 and the effects that it's going to have on the country for the next 4 years. It's a doomer / copium stream, so...
going after trans people, gay people, women. So, great. And not only that, but they go after popular departments like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which, again, protects consumers. It helps recoup, things, money that these companies steal from you. And
one of the provisions in Project 2025 is that trans people have no claim to First Amendment protections, and therefore they'll have no problem with basically labeling us as porn. Our mere existence, like, you can look at Project 2025 and just, it's like the whole thing, the manifesto, it's like 900 pages long, but it's there.
Erlina Khan. She's currently the head of the FTC, who's been taking on corporations
along with
doing
all the
antitrust.
abortion shit, like, that's there. Yeah. And then Trump wants to enact the tariffs, and of course, people who vote Trump don't know how tariffs work. All they see is that their crypto's up, and they don't realize that that ain't gonna mean jack shit when the tariffs are, imagine that. Something that did cost $6, but because it's a foreign import, now costs $12. Like, it's gonna be really amusing watching Trump supporters cry over their costs going up. It's gonna be great. I love it.
Measures against these big companies. I wonder if she's going to last. I know J.D. Vance is like, well, I kind of like Lena Khan. No, you all are going to get rid of her. I know it. I know it. Not only that, again, we're not even discussing the stuff about immigration, okay? Which would take taxpayer money and waste it to build a border wall. Great. These are very unpopular positions, by the way. Polling found that 52% of Americans oppose Project 2025, while only about 13% of Americans support it. Which is why Trump, when he was campaigning, was like, Project 2025, I don't know what that is. Well, yeah. I know nothing about Project 2025.
It's funny how that works. When the exposure is coming out there, and when you're being, when people are realizing, oh shit, this guy's a fascist, you got to do something. Wait, what? Me wanting to do things about like abortion and make sure rape survivors have to carry their rapist baby because we hate the idea that people should be allowed to control their own bodies. We don't want 10-year-olds getting an abortion. We think that they should carry their rapist baby. Like, we say this in our little handbook and blah blah blah. But ignore that part and vote for us, because if you vote for us, then we're gonna deny the stuff that we. But then we're going to kind of sneak that stuff in because we have no soul and we do not care about you. And we're also going to make you pay more for food because we're all billionaires, we're all rich people, and we're going to make your life a living hell. And we're also going to clean out your workplace of all the immigrants so that you have all the extra hard work you got to do. And by the way, you're going to be made to pay child support because your girlfriend or whoever wasn't able to get an abortion because of the anti-abortion laws. So, yeah, we love you. Vote for me.
I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're
Vote
saying
for
are
Trump.
ridiculous, abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck.
Oh my God, I will vote.
Okay, no, I wouldn't.
I will
okay.
vote
Anything that's in Project 2025 to help him
for
and
Donald
his,
Trump.
money, his bank account, or help him maintain power.
Such
he's
a
likely to
fucking
be in favor
joke.
of. Okay, likely to be in favor of. Maybe not in favor of everything there, but I think that there's a lot of things that he wouldn't get in the way of, and that's the other thing, right? A lot of the conservative stuff, he might not like it, but that doesn't mean he'd stop it. Just saying. And so, look, at the end of the day, here are some of your strongest supporters admitting, actually, yes, Project 2025 is our agenda. And thanks to you guys, the voters, we're going to do it. You guys are suckers, and you believed us. And now, we're going to show you what we really want to do. And you're not going to like it. But we, we're going to love it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video.
Yeah, we're gonna
support
fucking hate it, but the billionaire class is really gonna love it. The bourgeois, they're gonna love it. Even if you got the tip of your toes into the petite bourgeois category with like a $10,000 brokerage account. Sure, that's a lot of money, but that shit you ain't benefiting from the shit that you think you're benefiting. God, no. You ain't the 1%. Like, you're still gonna have to enslave the rest of your life because, you ain't getting paid enough money to survive. Like, these motherfuckers on a good day on the stock market can pay their entire bills, their entire yearly annual expenses. Because as we've seen before, a 2% rise on the stock market, $10,000, that's $200. For $1 million, that's $20,000. Yeah, so, wait, is it? Yeah, because 10,000 times 100 is $1 million. Yeah. So, yeah, that's, so, yeah, 200 times 100 is 1,000, or is 20,000. Yeah, so, yeah, for the people that have, like, yeah, the more money you have, the bigger that 2% return actually is. You really think you're benefiting from the stock market? Little petite bourgeois with a $10,000 brokerage account? You're really not. And yet you're selling the rest of the country out so that other people can get millions of dollars on the stock market. And what does that leave you with? A few extra bucks that you're going to have to spend in order to flee the country because this country does not like you. Yeah, what a nice little trade-off. You know, really good trade-off. Brilliant. It's tremendous, believe me. So, okay. I love, I guess my chat's doing... Let me make sure my chat thing still works. We're going to say below. Yep, still working. Okay. Just keeping an eye on the chat. Making sure it's still... Because I've been having so much issues with the chat. I'm just glad it's fucking fixed now. Well, obviously, y'all are fucking psychopaths. So. Well, I said I was gonna go till 2 o'clock. It is now 2:05 Eastern Standard Time. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits here. It's been nice talking to you guys, and I'm really glad we were able to hang out for a bit. If you like the stream, feel free to share it on my YouTube channel. It should show up if it's not taken down due to copyright bullshit. Like, follow, share, etc., etc. Feel free to follow me on Discord, or join my Discord server. I post show updates there regularly. Every time I go live, I'm going to notify everybody in there that I'm going live. So do make that, do look into joining my Discord server. As for X, I don't even know if I'm going to really get serious about that. I'm thinking of Blue Sky, actually. I really only went on to X to leave a shitpost comment in order to piss off all the MAGA voters. That was fun. But I'm pretty sure if I go on there, I'm going to get death threats and rape threats and transphobia. So I feel like we're just going to leave X for now. Let's wait for Elon to realize he fucked it up and sell low, losing billions of dollars, and then we'll go back. We'll go back to X. So yeah. Shit. Wait, is it in graphics? No. Is it in layer 1? Yes. I feel like I Heart New York should be... Wait, no, it has to be above YouTube chat. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the X logo, because I'm not gonna go hard on endorsing that. And with that, I bid you all farewell. Thank you for watching the show. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.